I'm going to go ahead and put the Enduro Engineering spark arrestor cap on. Okay, so to replace the end cap with the Enduro Engineering end cap, the stock end cap is riveted, so they provide this 3/16 inch drill to drill bit to drill out these rivets. So I've got just a piece of wood under here to try to protect the black paint. Hopefully these are soft aluminum. It does say you might have to use a punch to punch them through. I'm not sure how deep I'm going to need to go here, so take a look there. See what it looks like. I think this is aluminum though, so that's the good news. It's not, it's pretty soft. There, okay, yeah, it went through. So it's obvious when it gets all the way through. Nice. So there's one rivet down. There's actually 7 on here, so the next step is, once you get all your 7 rivets drilled out, I got my rivet heads, is to take off, these are actually torque bits on the opposite end, because you have to pull the core out from the cap a little bit. So that is a T25. Okay, now I got those bolts out. The instructions say you can just pull the core out. Not coming out yet. Wow, the core is pretty tight. Just gotta give it a tight yank, and there is the packing. So it says to pull the whole thing out and then bang on that end with a 2x4 down the middle, and I may end up doing that, but first I'm just going to see if I can pull this off with some pliers. See if I can get a hold of this thing. Probably not going to ever put it back on there, so don't care if it gets a little bit marred up either. It is pretty tight. Yeah, you know, I'm going to pull it all the way out because I can hear the rivets fell through, so those got to come out anyways. See, the ends of those rivets were in there. And probably can't see it down in there with the lighting, but down at the end of there it says to use a 2x4, so yeah, I'm going to give that a shot. Barely got some movement. There we go. Okay. So there's the stock end cap is just a welded pipe. When you put this on, make sure that this recessed round area is facing toward the rear, because the screen actually sits in there like this. Okay. So I am going to thread lock this. So the kit comes with 7 screws to put the cap end mount in, and then 2 to put the end cap on. There's really only one way this will fit in here, so you really can't screw up the direction of this too easily. I'm going to put the core back in, make sure that I can see the end of the pipe tucked back in there. So it's got to fit back on there. There's one of the rivets. Hey, that's a good pointer there. Inspect these. The rivets are actually embedded in the yarn in several of these. So you want to pluck those out of there. So make sure you get this right side up. There is a little O-ring around this end of the pipe too. So be careful you get that line back up. So now I'm just kind of feeling down here for the pipe because it needs to slide in to the center of the new cap. You can feel it coming up. And the yarn wants to get bunched up in there, so kind of just use your fingers to push the yarn off to the side. But if you let it get in between the pipe and the end cap, it definitely doesn't want to go in. So how I got it in there is once I got the yarn out of the way, I just put it upside down and put my weight on it, and it pushed right in. So there you can see there's the stock silencer pipe right there, flush. Now I'm going to put those screws back in. Again, I'm going to use blue thread lock on this. All right. So last thing, screen. Can only go on one way. Got thread lock on one of these. These ones are hex head. Definitely put thread lock on these because, of course, there's vibration on your exhaust system, but because it's going into machined billet aluminum, it'll definitely would tend to want to come out pretty easily if you don't lock them. So let's give it a little hand torque. There you are. So it looks fantastic on the Husqvarna because it's black. Okay, so I'm going to put the silencer back on. So there's the spring ring, retainer ring for the rubber. Yeah, I'm going to put back on the expansion pipe. Put that on first. Slide the rubber up on there until your mount bolts align in the back. So that is right there. Okay, the silencer bolts are 7.4 foot-pounds. lot of pressure on this. And don't forget to put the spring back on. The rubber bushing, a rubber coupler, I guess is a better word for it. Put some tension on there. Nice. And I am all done. Just want to get a better view. Just love that Enduro Engineering end cap on the Husqvarna stock pipe, black on black, fantastic.